Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today we are doing a sum up of 1330th. 30s, sorry. Anyway, before we proceed, please don't forget to subscribe, and without further ado, let's jump right into the video. So I just finished the decade and I'm feeling very excited to move on because this decade was not really influential on the main household. Well, this is all the years I'm talking about. If we talk about my spreadsheets, of course, if you are to open them now, they would be much further along. And for this, if you want to stay super up to date when I'm streaming this, I suggest to watch my Twitch streams then, which at this point I'm probably somehow trying to involve also the audience to make some decisions in what's going to happen. Anyway, let's quickly see what exactly happened. So, of course, there was a lot of children being born and a lot of marriages happened in this period of time. I guess from interesting kind of things. So, Isabella Greenwood died. She was from Gen 1. She was wife of older brother of my heir back then. And yeah, she's the last sim of Gen 1, and this was quite upsetting, but kind of felt like a fresh start. We also lost Cassandra in this decade, and this was quite sudden and unexpected, but also she was quite glitchy. It was very difficult to play her. She constantly had to go to toilet. I don't know why. Maybe it's some type of update of lifestyle. Maybe she was kind of high maintenance, but it was on background because her behavior in the game really was not normal base sim. Or maybe it's just me and I am giving personalities to my sims. Then we did kind of finish giving birth throughout the middle part in the main household because my goal was to have 4 boys only. I figured that if I have 4 boys, I do have a lot of chances for the family to stay as it is. Even though I have very big side households, I still kind of want to give chance to the main family to move on their reign, per se, in the house. We also started officially Gen 4 in this video, which was super exciting. Unfortunately, Isabella didn't live to see her great-grandkids, and she wouldn't anyway because they all died. So her grandson Benedict, the one that was son of Liberty Lee, he actually died, and that was quite upsetting. But I think for that I'll have to go and show you on the family tree. So here we are. This is Gilbert, my current heir, and this is Cassandra, and those are all of his siblings, and so on and so forth. By the way, before I go further with that, if you want to have access to family tree, please give me a comment and I'll give you a special link. In this way you will be always able to see it, and also you'll receive like an update emails when the family tree is updated, so you can check in real time what is happening. Right, back to tree now. So you see that I tried, but like from Adam and Eva, that were my original first gen kids, I actually didn't get that much of alive children here. Simon, for example, rolled to have 1 son, so it's William. Hugo died, so Margaret couldn't continue being pregnant, so she's raising just Gota in Spain. So I do have like 1 child here, 1 child here, and then 4 sons under Gilbert, and that's it. So all these tears and tries, and actually for like, since it was my only kids, the kids of first gen, the Gen 2, they all have like aspirations achieved as a child. They're all top-notch toddlers and stuff. And I'm still very dead, like I'm still pushing all of this for Gen 3, but much in less capacity for sure. I'm just trying to enjoy more my chickens and stuff, you know. Now, if I open the tree further and I go to the other siblings, it gets a little bit crowded. I guess from important part here is Benedict married Zoe Patel from Roomies from Oasis Springs, from the base game, and she's quite important sim for my channel. I include her. I did a whole series about her, let's put it this way, and I'm planning to include her more. I think she's very special for base game. She has very special face structure and so on, like many other sims too, but for some reason I have a strong connection to Zoe Patel. So I married her to my first Gen 3 child that is getting married, and they're all like 3 children. She had 2 unsuccessful pregnancies and she lost a son. So they're not trying for babies anymore, but they're still heirs of this like original house of the side household. And so this is like, I do have 3 houses that are part of my thumbnail. Of course I have much more families than that, but only those three families basically participate, or these three houses and families that live in it. So when Benedict dies, actually, there will be no continuation of his lineage. So we will be moving on to Andrew's children, and this would be actually Darius. And Darius just married Rosalie Greenwood. I mean, you don't know who is Rosalie, and I don't know who is Rosalie because she was created by the game, but Akas edited her and he married her. Randall, his twin brother, actually, who is actually older, so I might have to put Randall instead. I still undecisive about that. It's either Randall or Darius. They are twins, but Randall was born first, if we roll back the tapes, you know. He actually married Grace from Amicable Acolytes from Realm of Magic. Where else do we go? So Juliet, for example, married Tomax Colette, who was Grace's roommate in the pack Realm of Magic, but I kind of decided not to marry them and give them children. Instead, I decided to marry them both into my family in some capacity. And they do have already two daughters, Isabel and Christiane. So there is still Jehan, for example. This is my France family here. Jehan is at war, so the war started as well in this decade. If I move on, we just aged up Edith, and she's soon to be married, and then there's Maud, she's still a child in Gen 3. Then if we go next, we have Annabelle, who married Gavin Richards, and Gavin is from Rumi's household. Gavin is at war currently, but his son Williamus is soon to be married, and they actually live in Scotland. They're my family of Scotland, basically. So I'm really looking forward to expand Scotland presence in the game. They do have children. They actually just stopped trying for babies, and they had a lot, but not like Andrew and Sarah. By the way, we lost both of them in this decade, and they are such a power couple. They had so many children, and I mean, at the end, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 that survived. That's crazy to me. They had like 12. If I'm not wrong, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 children, and only 4 survived. That's a very low survival rate. I also married absolutely every child of Villarreal into my family. Villarreal is a family from Windenburg, from Get Together. So I married Max, Hugo, and Luna, and we start with Max. Max married Catherine, who was the last baby of Isabella, and she died just like a day before Isabella. He's raising their twins in Spain. They're called Graciosa and Ildaria. I also married Hugo from Villarreal. He married Margaret from my household. He also died, so she couldn't continue getting pregnant, as I said. But she's left in Spain by herself. Actually, Juliana, right here, she rolled to never get married, but she is part of another challenge of one of my viewers, let's say, my friends, also from the same country as me. But I don't know at which year he will be when this video comes out. But basically, Juliana, I gave him Juliana, and he put her in his Decades challenge. Anyway, and the last one we have is Luna, and Luna married my current heir's younger brother, Simon. And unfortunately, they rolled to have only 3 pregnancies or 2 pregnancies, and they only ended up with William as the result. So I hope William survives, to be honest. Then if you go to Eleanor's and Henry's legacy, of course, they're long gone, even before previous decade, but we just lost Ayed, like in the last video, in previous video, and he was married to Ida, the eldest daughter, but they do have 2 children, Honora and Terence, who are still living. Then, of course, we have my favorites from Summer and Herbert. This is family that is part of the thumbnail because they inherited the house, but they both died. So Eleanor was staying with the kids for some time, but then Anya was helping, but she died in that decade. But luckily, Tori was already a teenager when she died. So we have Tori and Emma. Emma is about to get married and be moved out, but Tori will stay in the thumbnails, for example. Then if I move on here, we have Alexander and Osana. I kind of like them, but for wrong reasons. I like them because they did very cute kids, like as infants, toddlers, children. They were super cute, but then as teens, they're a little bit meh, but it's okay. Like, the kids were super cute, and this is their 2 oldest, and I'm very excited for them to get married. Now, moving on to the rest of my goth representation. So, as I said earlier, Cassandra has married my heir, but Alexander married his cousin. his first cousin, maybe, Astrid. She is child of Henry and Eleanor, and they have quite a bit of children. Till some point, they couldn't even fit in one household. Now they finally do. So we are left with just them and 6 kids for the moment. We have Mortimer, same as his father. He's the eldest. He just aged up in a teenager. We have John Goth, Robert Goth, Edric Goth, Rosa Goth, and Theobald Goth. They are super fun, and this is the first family I tried a bit of face details for the kids, and Robert is one that I'm testing it on. And again, if you want to be part of all of this craziness, just ask me for the link and you'll have access to this. It will look exactly like this. You can open any sim, read their stories, which Ancestry creates by themselves. I also put all the marriages in there and all the locations. And it's quite fun, I think, in future to look, because I'm not planning to let go of anyone at the moment, even though it's becoming too much, especially that everyone is getting married now. I'm still gonna try to push and not just kill some like far relatives for no particular reason. Speaking of the marriages, we actually just entered the decade when we are marrying everyone. When we marry, it's also the first day we try. So this is just some children I did, but they're basically 2.5 years of just marriages, and there will be more because there's more teens coming up in the future decade. So this is both exciting but also scary because some of them, of course, roll to never get married. So far, I had just one that rolled never to get married, but you never know. Then, of course, this is my photo album. You have the link in the description down below. I constantly update this after every stream or so. And you can see everything that happens, maybe some things that I decided to take pictures of. So here we have Cassandra and Roger. She by herself put him in this pool, and I was very surprised. It was in 1331. Then we have, this is right before I had to kill off Isabella, and there's Liberty in the background, because then Liberty and Benedict officially inherited the house. I wish I knew that they wouldn't have actually, that Benedict wouldn't continue the family line, but when I took the picture, I really felt like they're gonna move on with the destiny, you know? Then in 1333, I took a picture, like updated picture of our house. I really like to do that because we got cows and chickens and llama. You see this is our second cow actually, the brown cow. And by the end of the decade, actually, all of this part has extended almost towards here. All the gardening, I really got into gardening again. And the table, we started to use it. We are doing some street market as a way to earn money. And then we have the picture of Gail dying and Juliana noticing it. That's when they left Scotland basically, and Juliana moved to Spain to help Margaret. Then here we have Richard with chicken. Richard is current heir option. He is the first one actually to be my next heir, and I'm very excited. He is a good kid. He has top-notch infant trait, which is the first for me, and I'm very excited for that. And the last picture I have is Cassandra playing with chickens before she died, and this was very cute. I actually did kill her right in there, right after I took this picture, in the middle of the chickens. I just thought it made sense, you know. Now, moving on to my biggest project, which is this presentation that I'm doing. It's also in the description down below, and it's basically the history of everything, but in pictures. So from interesting part, for example, you see Juliana. She's one of the first to age up into adult, and you can see the whole progression of her basically from toddler to adult. The newer kids, they also have infant stage now, which looks something like this. For example, for Rosa Goth, you see her as infant, then toddler, then child. And you see also different sims that got married into the family. And if they have a parent, I will put the parent here as well, and the parent will be on Ancestry, but not in my spreadsheets. And then of course we have the death list. I'm kind of working it here. I just finished 1139, but I mean, it's growing pretty fast, and I don't know how many pages it will be, and this presentation will be available only for 1300s. I will start probably a new one in 1400s. Anyway, if you're interested to see and get like nosy and really go into nitty-gritty of everything, of like progression of different sims and who they are and what's up, you know, It will be very interesting. I used to do those, by the way, like family portraits of the main households, but I don't see the point anymore. But let me know. For example, I would love to do this, but I have 52 sims now. Like in 1310s, sure, but now it's just impossible. Like, if I look here, by the way, dead, 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 alive. So it's just a mess. Like, I mean, it would be nice to build like a project like this where you can see all of them, but I just don't think it's possible anymore. So I kind of stopped doing it, and the previous, maybe I'll do like a main portrait, but I don't know, I kind of lost interest in that. So I didn't do it for the last two parts. So anyway, we're about to start the 40th finally, and I'm super excited. I can't wait to see what it's going to bring us and what kind of progress we will make. We will finish the first area, the first part of the war, and I only have 2 sims enrolled into the army, but one is from France and one is from England, which I find quite charming. And I want to see how it's gonna move forward. Actually, one is from France and another one is from Scotland. No, nobody from England rolled, but we have so many teenagers coming up, so I think for the next part we will have more. And just if we look at the next one, we also will have Black Plug right here, 1348, where I will have to flip a coin for every single sim. This will be quite a dramatic year, I think, and it's just going to be difficult. I'm not gonna lie, it's going to be difficult for me, and last time I had a plug, I lost, I think, 6 sims out of like 20, and it really changed a lot of things. It actually changed my air. So I'm very excited for the new plug to happen, and I want to know what kind of changes the families will have to go through. And we'll also start a new section for war right here, which will finish the decade after. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I am super excited for this challenge, and I hope that you're watching it. And if you have any sims you want me to use, you can hashtag me at JungleRodian without underscore on the gallery, or just check me out on the gallery and use the hashtags that I use. I do check those from time to time, but if you let me know that you did it, would be great. I think this will be it. Let me know if you have any comments or you wish me to do those sum ups in different way. I'm very open for that. And thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please don't forget to click like, subscribe and leave a comment, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye bye.